same adoration which was originally paid the Son. That's in The Age of Reason, one of the most published books in history. Leonardo da Vinci said this: "I could wish that I had such power of language as should avail me to censure those who would extol the worship of men above that of the Son. Those who have wished to worship men have made a very grave error." It's talking about Christians, because they worship a man, a Judean, a Galilean, a Nazarite. What is he? Well, he's a Galilean up there because Galileans are Gauls. Gauls are Celts. Celts are white-skinned people. Jews, originally black. So he's a Jew, he's a Galilean, he's a Nazarite, and he goes through the circuit of Galilee. Check out what it means. Go to your Strong's Concordance and see what it means when Jesus goes off into the circuit of Galilee. Galilee means the circle of the zodiac. St. Patrick. We all know of St. Patrick. You know, we get St. Patrick's Day in the year roughly around about 390. The true Christ is the Son. I'll leave it at that. That's what St. Patrick said. Clement of Alexandria, in excerpts in one of his book called Excerpts ex Theodoto, says that Valentinian Gnostic Theodotus, so he's talking about Theodotus, says that the apostles were substituted for the 12 signs of the zodiac. They are all this. And astrology is the mother that sits on top of them all. Emperor Julian, in his invectives against the Galileans, said this: "Within 40 years of the Council of Nicaea, we have the Emperor Julian writing the following: It is, I think, expedient to set forth to all mankind the reasons by which I was convinced that the fabrication of the Galileans is a fiction of men composed by wickedness." And he called them beasts, slit throats, because they slit the throats of his mother and father and brothers and everybody. He got the throne, became emperor. In 661, he was killed by a Christian. He was fighting against the Persians. And they pierced him through and killed him. And they said, "Good, we've killed the pagan dog." But he tried to save us and bring us back to the glory of the sun. And he wrote the most beautiful poems to the sun, of which I'm going to read you some of the beautiful poems. No, yeah, questions later. But I'll just take that because it might bring me back to some good point. Sorry. Okay. He knew that the sun was the centre of the the solar system, because he said simply, he said, "For as to the planets, it is manifest that dancing, as it were, around the sun, their motions are measured by a certain symphony of figures with respect to the God." So for those Christians who keep saying, "Oh, we didn't know that the sun was the centre of the solar system until Copernicus," that's a lie, because they don't read. They haven't been told to read. They're told not to read because it's from the devil. Any information that the priests have monopolising has got to be from the devil. Pope Leo. Remember the one that Raphael painted? It's in the Vatican. The big fat guy, Giovanni de' Medici, became Pope. Big fat slob, had prostitutes everywhere. Martin Luther got wind of it and said it's a debauchery. The Vatican is Julian before him and Alexander. Those three popes, they were all Borgia, Spanish, right? They all got the papacy with their viciousness and bloodshedding. Anyway, Pope Leo X. "It is well known how profitable this fable of Christ has been to us." Now, I'll get off that because I want to show you something really interesting. In the Gospel of John, in the last chapter of the Gospel of John, do you remember Jesus was on the beach? He'd already died, and he's resurrected, and the apostles are out in the boat fishing, and they didn't catch anything. Do you remember that? No, I'm glad that I was a good little Bible student. I'm so glad, because now I've got all the verses and all the stories in my head, as they should be. We're supposed to teach people that Santa Claus comes here, red Santa Claus, on the 25th of December and gives us presents. The present is the sun coming back. That's what the present is. And the Christmas tree is the consciousness. This is the Christmas tree that we put up, because the little sprig, the little twig, is, even though Saturn brings the sun down to die on St. Thomas's Day, the sun will always return. Because the sun sheds its life for us. Anyway, Jesus says, "Oh, how are you? Good, we haven't caught anything. Put your net on the other side of the boat and you'll catch something." He waits around. "Did you catch anything?" "Yes, bring it in." So they brought it out. I mean, I'm just paraphrasing here, but you'll read it, the last chapter of the Gospel of John. They counted the fish. Why would a gospel have this fact, this information? Simon Peter, therefore, went on board, and this is John 21:11. Simon Peter, therefore, went on board and drew the net to land full of big fishes, 153 of them. Now, most Christians read that and go, "Oh, isn't that lovely? The Bible just mentions these 153. They must be famous." Does anyone know what the 153 means, man? It's a sacred number. It's the most sacred number. Pythagoras called it, and you know who Pythagoras was? He's the father of mathematics. Forget the rest. Pythagoras' disciple Empedocles, he would have been taught by Pythagoras anyway, was another wonder worker. Where is it? So, the formula, okay. Archimedes, another great mathematician who lived in Sicily, called it the measure of the fish. Let me explain what it is. Well, there's a picture of it. Two circles share the same common radius. So you get two circles, perfect circles, and you put a dot in the centre, and then you draw another circle next to it. What shape do you get? This measurement here is 153. That is the fish, the Pisces. Jesus has been in through Pisces, getting crucified for the last 2,000 years, because Pisces is in the sign of the cross. So that 153 is the measurement of the fish. The sign of the fish is widely used today as a symbol of Christianity, but originated in pagan sacred geometry. Two circles symbolic of spirit and matter. Spirit and matter are brought together in sacred marriage. When the circumference of one touches the centre of the other, they combine to produce the fish shape known as the Vesika Pisces. Look, I think I've covered a lot of stuff, and I'm just going to wind it up now.